Hi everyone, it's MPP Lisa MacLeod here from Queen's Park. I'm live just outside the chamber to talk to you today about the 2017 Auditor General's report. As you know, that was just released today. 14 different programs and department areas were under review by the auditor, and she made several recommendations, totaling in over $1 billion in efficiencies for your government. Now, Kathleen Wynne just a few weeks ago said, well, this is the lean government. There's nothing more to cut. There's no waste in our system. Well, that's not true. In just 14 departments, we found $1 billion that could be deployed elsewhere or saved in your money, of course. And so let me tell you a few of the areas where we found some waste. $260 million was misspent and given back to elite executives in various hydro areas. And this included expenses being paid for that were raccoon traps, pizza parties, car washes. Your tax dollars were being spent that way thanks to Kathleen Wynne and her Liberal government. In addition, we've seen that kids in schools, their math scores are dramatically down. We've got absenteeism on the rise in our school boards. We have seen more treatments being done outside of the province than absolutely need to be. People are going to the United States and it's costing us a lot more money rather than doing some of these procedures we could do in a hospital here. That could be more effective. The other thing that really bothered me was I saw that Kathleen Wynne and the Liberal government had spent $60 million on government advertising, and according to the Auditor General, almost $20 million of that was self-congratulatory partisan-style attack ads, partisan-style congratulatory ads. So your tax dollars are actually going to be used, $20 million of that money is being used by the government to advertise their programs. And put this in perspective, the government spent $5 million advertising the Fair Hydro Plan to talk about their work, so you paid for those. You also paid $5 million for her, the Kathleen Wynne government, to run $5 million worth of ORPP ads during the federal election. She stripped the Auditor General of her abilities to rescind those and remove those partisan ads from running. So we, in the Ontario PC Party, would restore that. What we would do effectively is ensure that the Auditor General has that power back so that if there are partisan ads with taxpayer money, that they'll be removed. The other thing is, we may still see, it's up to the government whether or not they decide an ad should run during an election. So let's hope that Kathleen Wynne and her Liberal government understand that your tax dollars shouldn't be used to run self-congratulatory ads during the upcoming provincial election. One of the other things that the auditor had found, and this is quite disturbing, as somebody who lives in the nation's capital and works in the provincial capital, I was disappointed to know that the emergency management plan for the province of Ontario had not been updated in 10 whole years. I need you to think about that for a second. 10 years ago, Facebook was just starting to exist and thrive. 10 years ago, we didn't have ISIS. And 10 years ago, we didn't have people with multiple devices walking around in our streets. We didn't have a climate plan. The government hasn't even planned for its climate plan in terms of any major disaster from weather-related or climate-related incidents. We haven't got an updated plan from the province on what would happen if there was a nuclear disaster, if there was a terrorist threat, or there was a cybersecurity threat. I want you to think about that. The basic job of any government is to keep its citizens safe. Yet in this particular case, either because they're asleep at the switch or they just don't care, they didn't get it done. And that takes me to the next part of the Auditor General's report. This was the largest Auditor General's report I've seen since I arrived at Queen's Park almost 12 years ago. There were 2 volumes spanning 14 different ministries, or several different ministries, but 14 different departments, and then there were the follow-ups. And so there was an entire volume of recommendations the auditor had made in the past that had never been implemented. So that's something else that's out there that's very concerning to me. Did you also know that we had $19 billion that we were spending on vacant properties that just to keep them going? I mean, the waste is extravagant in this particular auditor's report. So I wanted to give you a quick update here from Queen's Park and do it live, so you would know that I'm down here fighting for you. I had a press conference just an hour ago. I've been doing media with CBC, and CFRA, News Talk 1310, some places outside of Ottawa, and later on I'll be on with CFRA's Evan Solomon. And obviously we're going to be on question period about this in the weeks to come. And the Auditor General, who we met with earlier this morning, who gave us a briefing, will then work with our Public Accounts Committee, of which I'm Vice Chair, to bring in these ministry officials to ask them about the exuberant amount of waste, or the extensive amount of waste that we saw in this recent report. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to keep you too long. I wanted to give you a quick update from the floor of the legislature. I'm just outside of the chamber, where I'll be going back in, but I thought it was important to connect with you on this Auditor General's report, the amount of waste that is out there, the fact that the auditor says the government cannot balance its books, and the fact that there just is this egregious sense of waste. One final thing before I go, the group that wasted the $260 million, some of those folks are there and they're supposed to be protecting your rates and your tax dollars in the energy system, and we know that some of them are being investigated, and all we want to know is who they are. I think that we should know who is in charge of your energy planning in the province of Ontario, particularly when it comes to spending your money, and especially given the fact that $260 million was misspent. Some of that money we're getting back, but not all has been recovered. So with that, I just wanted to give you a quick update. I want to continue to do these every once in a while and connect with you this way. I'd like your comments and your feedback in the post below, or you can PM me if you have any questions additional to that. And as always, you can reach me on my website at www.lisamcleod.com. Call my office it's in Ottawa, 613-823-2116. In Toronto, it's 416-325-6351. And you can always email me at lisa@lisamcleod.com. And again, offer always stands. If you see me at Kelly Ross's store, or you see me dropping Victoria off at SRB, please stop me. I'm accessible. I want to be there for you, and I want to continue to work on your behalf. So thanks everyone very much. I like all your feedback, good, bad, the ugly, and let me know how you think I'm doing, and let me know how you think the Liberal government is doing. Okay? Thanks everybody. Have a good one.